That was the speech from the chairman, LC 5. I take this opportunity to welcome the elders to present the resolutions of the meeting. You're welcome.
Your Excellency, the resolutions of the Karamoja Cultural Events Dialogues. My name is Longoli Simon Peter. I'm the director of Karamoja Herders of the Horn, formerly Karamoja Development Forum, a research and advocacy pastoralist organization. We, the Karamojong people, gathered here at Napekori grounds, Karenga Town Council, in Karenga District at this 2024 Karamoja Cultural event with a shared purpose and a collective spirit, acknowledge and recognize the unique challenges and opportunities that our region faces. We acknowledge that 65% of the population of 1.4 million is trapped in household poverty against a national average of 30%. With 80% of our people reliant on nomadic livestock herding, we recognize the fragility of our traditional socio-economic livelihood. Further aware that the region has enormous natural resources wealth, including land, water, forest, minerals, oil, biodiversity, and landscape. Confronting long-standing governance issues, whether stemming from state institutions or traditional systems, is central to Karamoja's transformation. Our enduring cultural resilience, celebrated in this diverse extent, binds us together as Karamojong people facing unique challenges amid so much national potential. We assert the equal rights of Karamojong in line with Ugandans to life, property, health, and other fundamental freedoms. We acknowledge that government interventions in the region do not always make it to the region, and that there are problems with corruption, unequal distribution, and disparities that perpetuate iniquities, and are further knowledgeable of the constitutional provisions that guarantee affirmative action to address historical issues and ensure equity. We further acknowledge gains made by the security forces and several other actors over the last year in ensuring a more conflict region, and further that our overriding imperative is to secure our communities. Your Excellency, in recognizing this among others, the committee for this year's KCE chose the event theme, celebrating cultural diversity, peaceful coexistence, and embracing tourism for sustainable development. In 5 meetings on Karamoja's immediate future, our people have made the following commitments. Our youth, in particular the reformed youth, have committed to meaningfully engage in productive economic activities provided by government, the private sector, and non-governmental entities. They are further committed to support and enroll their families in primary education, where a free and equitable education system is available, to enroll themselves into available targeted skilling programs that will enhance our financial prospects and those of our households. Our women have committed to continue talking to our young people, the Karashona, for them to support disarmament, handover of weapons, and seek alternatives to generate wealth and continue to support voluntary disarmament. To educate the community about the negative impacts of alcohol consumption, particularly its effect on health, gender-based violence, and cattle rustling. to seek out and mobilize street children in our communities, assert their placement in appropriate institutions, and follow up and monitor their upbringing and well-being within those. Our elders have committed to act as enablers and use and rely on our traditional practices and knowledge to guide and ensure the peaceful sharing of pasture, water, and other resources. They are further committed to share resources among neighboring communities, especially where resource sharing agreements are participatory to our communities and are exhaustive. They have committed further to allow the mobility of wildlife with livestock and assist the Uganda Wildlife Authority to deal with poaching. As Atekeri peoples, particularly those living the experiences of cross-border life and those neighboring KRSU, we have committed to follow and respect resource sharing agreements among our regions and nations to ensure the peaceful coexistence of our communities and to hold regular dialogues across our borders. We have further committed to enable the continuous disarmament of the youth in the Ateker cluster. Your Excellency, now that we have given our own commitments to better our situation, we additionally resolve as follows. Before I proceed with the resolutions, I wish to emphasize these top 4. That the government provides in 2025 compulsory free boarding education in KRSU. This is supported already by a resolution of the Parliament of Uganda moved by the Honorable Remy Achia, the chairperson of the KPG. Secondly, livestock compensation for losses incurred during this recent phase of insecurity and cattle raids, especially in districts like Karenga, Kabong, some sub-counties like Loreng-Edward, and many others that can be assessed. Third, the compensation by the Ministry of Tourism of persons who have lost crops to wildlife according to market values. The current regulations have put compensation of crops to a cap of 1 million, which is not the market value of crops, and that's per acre. That the government undertakes to give enterprise support to the youth and women which target specific needs, such as skills, capitalization, and necessary infrastructure like markets. On a themes basis, we have further resolved that on peace and conflict, as well as justice, that the Ministry of East African Community Affairs fast-tracks the signing and implementation of the bilateral cross-border resource sharing agreement by the governments of the Republic of Uganda and the Republic of Kenya. That we are granted permissions to integrate the traditional and formal justice system. The rationale being that we believe that the formal justice system does not fully address pressing justice issues. We further resolve that the government of Uganda increases diplomatic measures to cause the increased removal of illegal weapons in the hands of pastoralists in South Sudan, Ethiopia, and Kenya. That the government facilitates and continues to support the efforts of women towards peace through Women Peace Fora, including by delivering the First Lady's promise of a bus. That government gives amnesty to the young people who are between 3,500 to 5,000, serving several sentences in prisons around the country for crimes related to cattle rustling and disarmament. On education, we have resolved that, again, we repeat the primary plea of free, compulsory boarding education, which must be met by increased infrastructural development within the schools. We also resolve that the government supports the Girls Vocational School in Matany Vocational Training School, which is on the verge of collapse because of high fees that government offers scholarships or co-funding to the school. The issue of Gulu University also came up quite prominently. The Karamojong are asking for a fully fledged regional university based in Moroto, not a college of Gulu University. On health, that the government addresses inaccessibility to health facilities, stockouts for essential drugs, and human resources to ease women's caregiving role and save them from high costs charged in private facilities. On the interaction of humans and wildlife, and in general conservation in Karamoja, we have resolved as follows: that the Uganda Wildlife Authority compensates losses to wildlife, whether human, agricultural, or other. That the Uganda Wildlife Authority implements collaborative wildlife management schemes between bordering communities and Uganda Wildlife Authority to boost economic activity and dual usage of conservation areas, and especially address emerging issues related to Pian-Upe Game Reserve. That the government, through the Ministry of Lands, Housing and Urban Development, and Uganda Wildlife Authority undertakes containment measures on wildlife corridors. That the government enhances the sharing of benefits related to conservation, including both tangible and intangible conservation resources over our protected areas. In relation to investments in mining, we have resolved that the government of Uganda dutifully applies the Mining and Minerals Act of 2022 to ensure the rightful compensation of landowners in the region. On infrastructure, that the government of Uganda continues to prioritize the construction of infrastructure along the Uganda-Kenya border to boost cross-border trade and the economy. That the government of Uganda completes ongoing pledges to build roads on Karamoja's main arteries: A. Moroto Kotido, Kabong, Karenga; B. Kitgum, Karenga; C. Soroti, Abim, Kotido, for now. On the need to control illicit alcohol, we have resolved that local authorities and the local police increase their efforts to raise awareness about the dangers of the consumption of illicit alcohol, including undertaking measures to control the production, packaging, movement, and sale of illicit alcohol. On social issues, we've resolved that the district local governments support the finalization and implementation of ordinances and bylaws addressing child marriage, gender-based violence, FGM, and alcoholism in all 7 districts of Karamoja. To boost economic growth in the region, we have resolved that the government, through several of our financing institutions, creates economic opportunities targeting women and youth to include them in their local economy, markets to every border, and cross-border markets. That to address prevalent youth unemployment and promote economic growth, specific economic opportunities are created, and that government prioritizes the employment of the demobilized youth through affirmative action. For example, providing easier paths for recruitment to conservancy organizations, police, and us too. That in our pursuit to make a dignified living, sufficient financial instruments and support tailored to our needs is available in Karamoja. For example, special grants for reformed youth. Programs like PDM are not reaching far enough. Lastly, on food security and agriculture. To boost crop production, the government, through the Ministry of Agriculture, supplies tractors and irrigation technologies to women and youth groups in each district of the region. To undertake measures to manage livestock diseases, which are decimating most of our herds within the region and at the borderlands, and in particular, apply the One Health approach, which includes humans, livestock, and ecosystems. My Ateker people, fellow Ugandans, this is the voice of the Karamojong or Ateker during the Karamoja Cultural Events 2024, Karenga District. Thank you for listening, Your Excellency.
Thank you, Your Excellency, the President of the Uganda. The next program is the handover of the resolutions to you through the Minister.
Your Excellency, the resolutions for the Karamoja dialogues that have been read were meant to be handed over to the Minister of Gender, but in our own knowledge, we think this should be anchored in your office as His Excellency the President. And we are requesting that you guide us on how to present these resolutions too. Okay. The President, His Excellency has directed the PPS to receive the resolutions. So, please. Your Excellency, next in our program is a statement by the Chairperson, Karamoja Cultural Association, and the handover of the flag to the district that will be hosting after Karenga. Please.
Your Excellency, thank you. Your Excellency, the President of Uganda, the Honorable Ministers, the MPs, the regional leaders, the district leaders, invited guests, all protocol observed, ladies and gentlemen. Here I'm Betty Lomuria, the Chairperson, Karamoja Cultural Association. It's a volunteer position, an initiative that started way back in 2014. And you can see to date in 2024, we are here in Karenga celebrating this idea. My task is to hand over the mandate from Karenga District local government to the next district that will be hosting the event next year. This is done under the rotational approach in order to harness the whole region of Karamoja, to give an opportunity to each and everyone to see what Karamoja has. I can tell you, the President of Uganda, that all through when we started this event, we have traversed all the region, and next year we'll be going to Nakapiriprit district. Allow me to invite the leadership of Nakapiriprit district local government to come and receive the mandate. We have we have the flag for Karamoja Cultural Association and the guidelines that stipulate how we conduct this event. As they organize to come and receive the mandate, I have two requests to place to your office. The first one is the government of Uganda to take over funding this event. We have all seen how this event brings together the Karamojong people to celebrate our culture and our identity, which is the tourism opportunity and also economic boost to the region and to the country at large. The second one is to support in the establishment of the cultural center in Nakadanya, where we shall be having a reference point of all our cultural identity. With these few remarks, allow me to invite the Honorable Minister, Akelo Roslili, to hand over the flag and the documents to Nakapiripri District Local Government. Thank you.